Hi viewers, this is Let's Play Abandonware. I'm very excited about this episode. Today we're playing Cyborg, a text adventure released in 1982 for multiple platforms. I think this is the IBM version. There's definitely an Apple II port floating about as well. And there's a later game called Cyborg on the Commodore which has graphics and action and so on. Nowhere near as cool as this. There's not a lot of information available on this game, but those who do remember it very fondly. The first text game we played on this series was Miser, which was thematically pretty empty. Cyborg is the polar opposite of that. This is a dark, creative sci-fi narrative with a very original presentation style. You can tell a lot of love went into the creation of this. I had a go at playing this one without help, and I got stuck after about half an hour, despite drawing a little map on some grid paper. So I managed to dig up a text guide, which I'll link to below, and I'll be showing you the game step by step. It'd be a bit like an audiobook. It's a really good story and I hope you enjoy. So, Sentient Software presents Cyborg. I can't locate the exact cause of our malfunction. Our power units have been so badly drained, both our long-term and short-term memories have been damaged. My sensors won't be of much help until we start recharging. And that's sort of a trope in these adventure games is, the player sort of doesn't have any idea what's going on, and usually it's not really explained, but this one, being that it's first person, it gives you a reason why you don't know where you are or what you're doing. The only data available to either our organic or silicon memories reside on a single chip. You and I are permanently linked. We are separate entities sharing an organic and metal shell, two minds in one body, a cyborg. We must find power or cease to exist. Until we find answers, we must work as a team, a unit. Tell me what to do by typing full sentence commands. If you need general information, type help. Okay, and this is your main sort of game screen, and as I was saying with thematic content, this game comes with an explanation for the way you do everything. Rather than typing inventory to give you what items you're using, you have to type body scan. Rather than look, there's area scan. It's implying that you're using your cyborg powers to analyze your environment and so on. Much cooler than just the generic commands. So stats that we have here: cyborg level and bio level are sort of our energy. We can replenish our cyborg level with batteries and bio level with food, and damage percent is damage we've taken from hazards in the environment. So we're starting off the game. We're at a T on an east-west dirt path through a forest. A northern path leads through a grove of trees. A tiny lizard wearing a silver spacesuit stands by the path, leaning on a tinier crutch, and groans, "Food, food for the truth." Very cryptic. So I've got my directions that I'll follow here. We're in a clearing in a forest. The trees surround us in all directions, but an overgrown path that leads to the south starts here. We're on a north-south overgrown path that rises through the trees. Below the raised path is a small clearing. The path itself is enclosed by a low metal railing, and littering the path are an incredible number of dead insects. So we can get those insects, which make an ideal lizard food. So we go back to the lizard and we'll feed him the bugs. Delicious. And we'll ask him for the truth. The lizard grins and in a raspy voice says, "You may ask me 1, who you are, 2, where you are, 3, what you are, or 4, all about myself." And you can do all of these without having to feed him again. Who am I? You are something neither I nor any of my kind have seen before. Where I come from, we are kinder to life forms than your superiors were to you. We don't try to modify them as if playing with toys. Where am I? You are in a strange place I do not fully understand. This place is not what it seems at first glance. Some trees are real, but the forest, as I'm sure you figured out, is purely illusion. The lizard grins and in a raspy voice says, so on. 3. What am I? You are the responsible party. I know no other way of stating that. You are responsible for everything which happens in this place. You and I are counterparts from two different civilizations. What about you, lizard? I came to this place through a terrible catastrophe that killed several others of my kind. Some zoological specimens we carried escaped their cages and are free, but the robot is worst of all. So a bit of foreshadowing for what's coming up later. Okay, so now we can start exploring a bit more. So we're going to head east along this dirt path. Path stretches from horizon to horizon, as does the endless forest. We've entered a small room whose walls are lined with empty, dusty shelves. A micro laser is nearby. That sounds very, very useful, so we'll pick that up. And now another neat feature of this game, which you can do as a sort of hint system, is you can ask your Cyborg component for its opinion on your current situation or objects and puzzles and that sort of thing. And occasionally you can get some useful information. So, for example, you can't just go shoot laser. We can't do that yet. If we ask his opinion on the laser, this will come in very handy. Very good. What we need to do with the laser though is, if we scan it, it's a small laser attachment for my forefinger. You need to put it on, and it's not a gun. So we wear the laser. Okay, we're going to head back out of this area and into the dense vegetation. So we're back at the spot where the dead bugs were. The area is enclosed with a metal railing, and we need to climb down to get down into the clearing. The railing is electrified, which explains why all the bugs were dead. Gives us a little bit of damage, but nothing too dangerous. So we're now underneath the path down in the forest below. We're on an east-west path at the bottom of a steel canyon. The walls to the north and south are sheer and unscalable polished metal. I can make out a vast forest to the west, while the walls rise and the path narrows to the east. We'll keep going through this canyon. We've entered a dark, dank room. A sign on the wall says "Maintenance personnel only." That's a thing the game uses, feature the game uses to sort of restrict your progress a little bit, stop you from getting to later areas too early. Okay, in this room we've got a pack of matches and a pair of sneakers. So we'll pick those up, get matches, get sneakers. Now if you try and wear the sneakers at the moment, I put them on but they keep falling off. If we ask our Cyborg what he thinks, I prefer them in blue, but these will do nicely. Bit of flavor text. Okay, we'll head up a tunnel that we passed earlier, and it's starting to get dark. It's too dark to continue. If we go on, I'm not sure we'll survive. We can light a match, get rid of the darkness. Okay, we're in a little alcove, the end of the north-south tunnel. A little sign on the wall says "Maintenance personnel only." The air here is stale, making it hard to breathe. There is a stepladder here and a power pack. So we'll get the ladder, and taking the pack will boost up our Cyborg level quite a bit. So we've got a bit more juice to run on. Alright, back out of here. And now the other exit out of the maintenance room that we were in before. To the south is a little metal cubicle, almost the size of an ancient telephone booth. Going into the cubicle, there is a doorway to the north and a sliding partition to the south. Scanning the southern door frame reveals a thin metal slot. A black plastic cube is nearby. Black plastic cubes can sometimes be very dangerous, but this one is very useful for us. Now this is the spot where I sort of got stuck when I tried this on my own. I couldn't quite figure out where I needed to put the cube. I tried smashing it, which crushes it into powder, but evidently that is the wrong path to take. You need to cut the cube with your laser. I've sliced a neat little seam into it. and then we can pop open the cube, and we pick up an ID that comes out of it. We insert the ID into the slot, and this is very important. You need to get the ID back out of the slot, otherwise if you don't, you're not going to have it later on when you need to put it in other areas. So we'll get our ID back, and going through this partition essentially works as a sort of fast travel to another area on the map. You can go a long way around through the jungle to access this, which I managed to do on my first try. And this is sort of operates a little tunnel between the two. So we'll take that path. Okay. A bookcase lines the east wall. There is an ultrafiche here. Now, I had to look that word up, I'm not going to lie. That's like a microfilm. It was a alternative method of storage to using a punch card to store programs on, computer data. It was essentially printed onto a reel of film, like a camera film, and then you'd feed it through a reader of some sort. Okay, so we'll pick that up. We can try and read it, but not able to read it with the unaided eye. Even our special Cyborg lenses won't do it. The print on the ultrafiche is microscopic. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It's not ultrafike or something like that. Ultrafiche sounds like a really rubbish superhero. Still better than Aquaman. Right, carrying on down this room. Before us is an immense picture window going from floor to ceiling and extending 25 meters in length. Through it we can see a distant verdant valley, beyond which is a snow-capped mountain range. If we scan the window though, we can see that it's actually a hologram, not really a window. So you're getting sort of an impression that not everything is as it seems here. We're in the west end of a tremendous hall. Before us is some kind of vending machine with a narrow slot in it. So we'll use our ID again. Get some food from the vending machine. I wish we had vending machines here that would give you juicy red apples. And we'll eat that to restore a bit of our bio level. Okay, and we need to get our ID back. Now at this point we can wear our ID, put it on like a badge. We don't need to put it in any slots, but we needed to get through some doorway checks. So moving on out of here. We're getting back to the dirt path. We're just west of where we started near the lizard. We're at a junction on the path. The south path leads into a massive tangled vegetation while an open field lies to the north. The smells to the south are sweet and alluring. We better follow our nose and see what the sweet smells are. Disaster. From out of nowhere, a snake with 2 heads and 3 arms appears. That's a very strange visual. I can't really picture a snake with any arms, let alone 3. It makes it not quite a snake, but I'm guessing it's some sort of mutant in this case, mutant or alien, which you can use to explain just about anything, I suppose. It spins before us and emits a powerful sweet odour which mesmerises us. I'm not sure if it's spinning on the tip of its tail or... Anyway, it spits venom which lands on our face and burns, so we've taken another 3% damage, or up to 6%. Two-headed snake is lurking nearby. Luckily we've got a weapon, and we're going to blast this snake. So we shoot the snake. How much energy should we charge the laser? So we're taking this out of our cyborg level. And now you can enter as much as you want. It does seem to vary. Sometimes 100 is enough, but I've also had 100 not kill the snake outright, so I'm going to go 150 just to be safe. The snake slithers off to die in peace. So we'll get back out of here. Into another building. We'll duck into a little side room where there's a shoulder harness. Four tiny foot stirrups are on the top of the harness while its bottom fits on our shoulder. So obviously someone's supposed to, someone or something is going to be standing on that. Okay, where do we go from here? Back out into the corridor, and then through the woods a little bit. We've entered a small clearing in an endless forest. Trees surround us and we seem to be a bit disoriented. A piece of string is nearby. If we try and get the string, it's all looped around the tree trunks, all tied up. Oh, we don't want to break the string. Mistake. We want to cut the string so we can get it out of there. Take the pieces. We can't do that yet. We'll have to drop something first. Alright, give me a second. I don't think we need the ladder at present, so we'll drop the ladder. That's usually to get back up to the railing if you don't figure out how to get through the fast travel. So we'll drop the ladder. And alright, the ladder stays there so we know where it is in case we need to come back for it. So we'll get the string. And we use the string to lace up the sneakers. And now with laces, the sneakers won't fall off, so we can put those on now. Wear sneakers. Okay. Head east through the forest. We are standing by the bole of a twisted tree on a north-south path. This is a completely optional bit, but it's just a neat little interaction. With the sneakers on, we can climb up the tree. We're on a limb near the top of the tree. From this vantage point, we can see what may be the cause of the strange forest phenomenon. The trees warp and seem to shimmer in the distance like a mirage, and appear to be holographic projections in the air. So the trees themselves are a hologram. The forest is merely a computer-generated image of some sort. A strange fruit is nearby. We've got the fruit, and the fruit is a little bit prickly. So in order to get at the fruit, we need to cut the skin off it. Kind of like a chestnut or something. Okay, so boost up our energy a bit more, and then we can climb down the tree and go on our way. So going north from here, the forest is endless, and yet directly to the north is a doorway. It's as if a mirror had been placed in our path. A mirror reflecting not what lies behind us, but a huge wooden floored room. We're standing in the southern end of a huge circular gymnasium. A massive cabinet sits to one side, making some very strange noises and leaking steam. We need to go up on top of this cabinet. We're standing on top of a huge steamy cabinet, emitting strange noises. It's the cabinet that's emitting the strange noises, not the player. The way into the cabinet is through a heavy, thick metal hatch. Heavy and thick as it is, pops open fairly easily, and we can now go inside. Let's get out of here and fast. So we're taking damage. It's very hot in here. It's also dark, so we need to light a match so that we can see. There are limited matches, so you can't just light them all the time. You need to only conserve them for when it's a dark area. We're inside the steamy cabinet. The walls are lined with little jets that emit steam that's already done damage to my higher logic circuits. The only way out is up through the open hatch overhead. There is a set of lenses here and a mini droid. So you need the lenses, which we'll wear. And we need the droid as well. And that's all that we have here. Okay, so we're back out of the cabinet. Moving around this gym, we're in the center of a huge circular gymnasium. Hanging over our head, well within reach, are a set of rings suspended from the ceiling by two long, stout ropes. Kind of like the rings they use in the Olympics, I suppose. We can climb up these rings. We're at the top of a dual set of ropes which support a set of rings right near the ceiling of a gymnasium. There's a small trapdoor over our heads, which we can break through it, smash our way through. And then we go up through the trapdoor. We're at the start of a narrow junction of tiny ventilation ducts. The ducts are far too narrow to enter. Huddled in the corner, quaking with fear, is a thin, orange-haired female lizard, a togrum, wearing a suit like that of the other little lizard. Now, if we try and talk to this togrum, it is too scared of us. So to calm it down, we need to pet it first. Pet togrum. Some of these would take the average player a little while to come to the conclusion of what to do, but anyway. That seems to soothe her. Try asking her now. I am the togrum. You may ask same questions as the first lizard. I come from a far distant land. There are others like me in this odd place where nothing makes sense. I wish that I could find the others and go home. You're in a strange place that reminds me of an amusement area we have at home. The only difference is that this place isn't amusing to me. It's frightening. You are a friendly creature. Others of your kind exist nearby, though something is terribly wrong with them. I never had any contact with these creatures or any like them in my homeland. I don't really know who you are, but I do have some advice for you. Stay clear of the smarter. It is dangerous and very illogical, and when cornered, it attacks to kill. Alright, we better keep an eye out for that one then. That's all we get from the togrum at the moment. Still very cryptic, but we can't give too much away. This is still quite early into the game. So we'll explore this indoors area a little bit further. Essentially, we've gone through another fast travel here. Hard to tell from the directions I'm taking, but you can access all these areas in various ways through the jungle and the dirt path. Okay, we've reached a doorway in a north-south metal hallway. The doorway to the east enters a long winding hallway, while the northern doorway has a sign over it that says Detox Station 1. Proper ID required for processing. And we have that ID, so we can go in. To cycle detox procedure, press the touch plate. The doorway to the south leads out. Metal partition in the north wall. So we have the correct ID. We will press the touch plate. An antiseptic mist cleanses us, and a doorway to the north appears. We're standing in mid-air, suspended at the top of a circular tube or shaft that descends into darkness. Rungs are welded to the walls to provide handholds for easier descent. A doorway to the south leads into Detox Station 1. Okay, I think I'll leave it there for part 1. Hopefully that has kept your interest so far. It looks like things will be ramping up from here. There's quite a ways to go. I think the game takes maybe just over an hour to complete in total, so we'll see how we go. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.